Was the Atalanta result this past Thursday a taste of what Liverpool have to look forward to in a post-Jurgen Klopp world? We saw Atalanta turn up to Anfield and treat it like a playground. They were able to play the way they wanted to, dictate the tempo of the match, exploit space in behind, and man-mark every single Liverpool player to within an inch of their life, preventing any kind of attacking momentum from building up. Now, there's been debate over whether or not Klopp announcing his departure when he did on the 26th of January would have a positive or negative impact on the squad, with fans, pundits and players alike debating the matter and whether or not the players would respond well to it. And to start, those fears were short-lived, with Liverpool beating Norwich 5-2 at Anfield in the FA Cup to progress in that competition, and then beating Chelsea 4-1 on the 31st of January in one of the best results of the season. However, despite these, we've also seen massive defeats to the hands of title rivals Arsenal and the FA Cup against Manchester United, where we lost 4-3 in the last minute. And now, to compound those fears even more, the Atalanta result, the 3-0 at Anfield, where despite mustering more possession, more shots, more XG, more everything, the crucial stat we lacked in was goals. We could not muster a single one. The closest we got was a Mo Salah offside, but Atalanta rolled up to Anfield and dominated us, winning 3-0 in the process and essentially ending Liverpool's European hopes this season. So how do we get things going in the right direction? Who's the man who's going to come into this squad and give us that extra bit of energy to really go and have a go at these matches? Look no further than Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota was one of the few bright lights in the Atalanta game, with the striker almost earning a penalty in his first few moments on the pitch and showing his strength in attack, which is being direct and getting involved in play. We saw that earlier this season with the goal he scored against Chelsea, where he ran through several of the defenders before finishing the ball, and he showed that he is a nightmare to get the ball off of. On average, per 90 minutes, Diogo Jota is dispossessed 1.34 times a match, putting him in the bottom 25% of players across Europe's top 5 leagues, meaning he has the ball, you're not getting it back off him without a fight. Without a doubt, he is one of our biggest assets going forward because he makes darting runs and will always look for space in front of him to make magic happen. Of the last 365 days, Diogo Jota ranks top 95% for progressive carries amongst attackers in Europe's top 5 leagues, as well as also 72% for successful take-on, showing that he will take the chance to drive the ball at opposition defence whenever he can. Not only that, but he provides for the team defensively, something which Mo Salah is often criticised for not doing enough of. On average, Jota's registering 1.79 tackles per 90, topping him in the top 99% of attackers in Europe's top 5 leagues, and he allows a lot of protection for whichever fullback he's in front of, be it Andrew Robertson, Kostas Tsimikas, Joe Gomez, whoever it is, he provides cover for them. Now, one thing that we have been dreadful at lately, Liverpool, is our finishing. Diogo Jota provides something for us that no other attacker in our squad does, which is regular clinicalness. Obviously, Mo Salah is Mo Salah. He's world class. He's one of the best ever. And Darwin Núñez comes up with those incredible moments. But Diogo Jota is cool, calm, and composed. And if you look at our dreadful finishing lately, when you consider the amount of quality of attackers we have, we saw it in the FA Cup against Manchester United. We saw it against Man United in the league. And now we've seen it against Atalanta. And are we going to see it more further forward? Possibly. But Diogo Jota is someone who can factor into this and really have an impact on the remainder of the season. If you look at the goal scoring stats, Diogo Jota averages around 3.31 shots per 90. Now, if you compare that to Luis Diaz, who averages 3.15, Jota's actually higher. And even Cody Gakpo, who has been utilised on the left wing at times, is only averaging 2.96 per 90. Now, of course, these players all have different roles in the team. Gakpo is a bit more central at times. However, he was the left winger at PSV. And while they are different roles, of course, Diogo Jota has been criticised in the past for not having a set position. Is he better through the middle? Is he better out wide? That's an argument that a lot of people have. However, for me, I personally believe it is the latter. I believe he is our starting left winger when he returns. We saw it earlier in the season. He dispossessed Luis Diaz from that team because of his ability. If you look at the stats again, if you look at the successful take-ons and progressive carries, Luis Diaz is not as clinical as Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota is able to make things happen because of his calm nature. Diaz very much feels like he's running for the sake of it, with his head down, trying to burn defenders with pace. Jota is a lot more calculated with his approach, with his XG coming in at around 0.79 per 90. Compare this to Luis Diaz, who registers 0.55 XG per 90, and Cody Gakpo on 0.71. So Jota is clearly out in front by some distance over Diaz and only slightly over Gakpo. But Jota is offering more progressive carries than Gakpo. He's also offering more XG than Diaz. He's the best of both worlds when it comes to both of them. Not to slander Gakpo or Diaz, I think they're brilliant, but Jota just offers that something a little bit different. And while these players have all had great spells, they have also had poor stints too. As I mentioned before, Diaz lost his place in the squad to Diogo Jota earlier in the season. However, you could argue with Diogo Jota that this is his best season apart from possibly his first one, despite his major injury setback this term. And now we've got to look at Darwin Núñez. It's no secret that he's erratic, to say the least. He will run more than anyone in that squad. He will commit more, like his life depends on it, than anyone in that squad, arguably. He is arguably the most committed player to the cause. However, his finishing at times is becoming a bit of a joke. I've been a Darwin Núñez defender this whole season. I adore him. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And as much as I've defended him myself, he showed in that Atalanta game that he struggles to keep his composure at the key moments at points. For every goal he scores against Man United in the 7-0, for every Champions League goal he scores, for every goal against Real Madrid he scored, he misses easy chances against Atalanta. He misses easy chances against a lot of teams. And it's starting to really impact us. That game was a loss because of some of the misses. Not to blame it on Núñez, but it's a big part of it. Núñez has a higher XG than anyone in that squad on 0.98. He's averaging 4.78 shots per 90. So compare that to Diogo Jota's 3.31 shots per 90 and his expected goals of 0.78. You can see who the more clinical is. Núñez gets far more chances than Jota, but Jota's more clinical with them. Also, while Núñez can score the spectacular, that seems to be a defence that people have over him. Remember, Jota can score them too. Remember the Atalanta goal a few seasons back where he volleys it over the defender and then squares it into the near post. Remember the Brighton goal where he dribbles past 3 players to score, and even the Chelsea goal this season where he runs through the defence and just slots it calmly past the keeper. Diogo Jota is what we need to get this attack moving in the right direction. It's someone who's direct, someone who's willing to have a go at defenders when it is needed and show up in those big moments with clinical composure to get results in the big matches. By no means am I suggesting that the likes of Salah, Núñez, Diaz, Gakpo are bad players. They're all phenomenal. But Jota is a player who, when he was injured and when he got injured, we were devastated. And it's so good to have him back on the pitch. Hopefully he can stay fit and fire us to victory in these key remaining Premier League matches. And that is it for today. If you are new around here, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. I want to get to 400 by probably in a month's time. Please get involved. And if you think that I've said anything wrong, if you think you've got any other thoughts on the matter, please leave it in the comments down below. And I will see you all in the next video.